The
It's
moment
time.
we've all been waiting for. It's time to get down to the nitty-gritty. We're talking about the quarterbacks, the signal callers, the El Capitans. All right. I know there's going to be a lot of disagreement here,
Yep.
but I'll just start it out. Through all of this, he has remained my QB1. I got CJ Stroud at the top of my board. I'm sorry about it. I just think that the accuracy mixed with the size, I think he's probably the safest bet out of the gate. I don't think he has the highest ceiling, but if I was a GM and I had my pick of the litter, I would go with CJ Stroud.
It's funny because I think he has the highest bust potential out of all the top 5 quarterbacks. I think Anthony Richardson has a higher ability to be a quarterback in the
Give
NFL.
me AR-15 all day.
No.
I think Bryce
All
Young
day.
personally is the number 1 quarterback in this draft.
I
Because
think Bryce has got to be.
I think the thing that everybody was worried about was not his talent. I think everybody's loved his talent. He's been amazing. He has ability to run. Very Russell Wilson-like. It was just his size. They were concerned that he wasn't going to be big enough, and he measured out at 5'10", 204. Was it water weight? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But he showed he can put on weight. He just needs to show he can hold on to it.
Playing shape, there's no way he's above 200.
Probably not. But I think Bryce Young proved doubters wrong about his size. Everybody thought damn near he was 5'8". Measured out at 5'10", which I think was great for him. There's nothing in his game though that's a flaw. The top 2 things I constantly hear about Bryce Young that people try to negate is he played at Bama. He had elite talent. Okay.
He had elite talent in his first year starting.
Yeah.
Just this last year, he had practically no weapons on
kind
the
of
outside.
a band of misfits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was insane.
And he was
I don't want
still
to
in
hear
the
that
conversation.
anymore. And then the other knock is just he's not a super fluid thrower. I think CJ Stroud definitely has a better arm motion. Bryce Young has a tendency to throw his upper body a little bit more. But I think Bryce Young has proven it time and time again. He has amazing pocket presence. He has a great deep ball. He has the arm for it. He knows how to read a defense. He doesn't stick to his one read. He scans the field consistently. He does it all at an elite level. And then after that, I don't have CJ Stroud as my 2 either. It's Anthony Richardson. It has to be.
He's my 2 as well.
Baby.
Bryce has dropped to 3 for me.
Wow.
I think AR just basically showed like everybody that he's here. I think the combine did him so good. All of his measurables were good. He threw the ball real well.
Yep.
Extremely well for having to practice throwing under center at the combine, which normally doesn't happen in today's college game.
I agree with Dimash. I think Bryce is my clear-cut number 1. It's been like that since I knew he was coming to the draft. It's been like that since the beginning of last season. I didn't think there was an opportunity for even him, to drop. And there wasn't. He's still the best quarterback in this draft. I would have had CJ at 2. I really do like the way he throws the ball, except for the fact that he does usually tend to stick to that single read, and that's the reason why he did get dropped to 3 after this combine for me. And I don't know. I think AR is going to prove a lot of people wrong. I think if he goes to the right system, he's going to make some really, really big noise for whatever team he goes.
Trev doesn't seem that big on AR, huh?
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll give him 3. I'll definitely give him 3 for the combine, but I just can't see the combine and then change my mind about what it's been when they were playing football. When they were playing football, it was clear-cut top 2 quarterbacks. And now all of a sudden they test well in the combine. Everyone
it's that Zach Wilson effect,
Exactly. It's like, why are you changing your mind now? But I think what differs most of these other quarterbacks in Young, Stroud, Levis, even Hendon Hooker, is that Anthony Richardson only had 1 year to start.
So you only get the 11, 12 game, however many college games are played, sample size of his ability.
Yeah.
And in that ability, you see him get better as far as making decisions when to run, when to pass, because his touchdown to interception ratio only went up positively as the season went on.
Mm-hmm.
And from a first year starting quarterback that's got as many tools as he does, that's progress. And again, Anthony Richardson is just this big block of clay that you can see and do whatever you want with.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a monster. Anthony Richardson, top 100 percentile.
Absolutely broke the relative athletic score.
Like,
Yeah.
that's insane. And
But he
I
probably
think
got an 11 on that bitch.
I think the crazy thing is that when you're looking at quarterbacks, like, yes, you do want a certain level of floor to a quarterback to be considered a first round talent or even draftable.
Yeah.
But with that being said, it purely comes down to system. With quarterback, I will say it to the day I die. You are going to be good, not because you are good, but because what is done around you and who the coaches are and just everything else that you can't control. It sucks. It sucks that way because a lot of quarterbacks fizzle out because they're put into the wrong system. They're put with the wrong coaches or put into the wrong type of passing scheme, or it just doesn't fit them. I mean, you see Lamar Jackson come in, win an MVP because they played to his strengths. But then you also see a quarterback like Josh Rosen, who went at that time, I thought he was a top 2 quarterback in my draft, but he wasn't. They didn't play to his strengths. They didn't play to the ability that he had. Drafted Kyler Murray, and then he just never got a shot again.
Josh Rosen,
so it just will be one of those scenarios where at this point, I think Anthony Richardson's floor is just high enough where that ceiling takes him way over the top for me on CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud's a great prospect, probably has the best throwing motion in all this. The only thing that scares me about CJ Stroud is his pocket presence is not good. I think he has the ability to step up. He does not have the ability to understand where linemen are across the board. He doesn't know where the three rushers are going to come. He doesn't know the spacing. He doesn't, and he's athletic, but does not want to use it. I think we finally saw a glimpse of what it could be when they played Georgia, what he could be.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not waiting for it could be in a top 5 draft quarterback.
And the inconsistencies in that realm, I know Anthony Richardson's inconsistent, but when you have that kind of ceiling, I'm taking it. I don't care. It was the same thing with Will Levis. People were talking about Will Levis potentially being a number 1 overall pick because he has the tools, but
yeah,
Richardson has those exact same tools and then multiplies it by 10. So like, it's just insane.
I just got to give a little bit of justification because I saw you, DiMaggio, when I said Bryce is my number 3. I saw you jump back a little bit. So
yeah,
I just got to give some justification here. If we were playing, if we were starting this franchise with injuries off, I'm taking Bryce Young 10 times out of 10, number 1 overall. But when I watch him play at Alabama, like, he has some of the playmaking abilities that Russell Wilson has. Like, you compared him to Russell Wilson. I agree with that, but he is not even on the same planet of like conservative that Russell Wilson is with making those plays. Russell Wilson will routinely, slide for a -1 yard loss in the backfield or run out of bounds after only getting a yard when he could maybe fight through contact for 3 or 4. He knows his size. And so he plays with that caution a lot where he doesn't want to take many hits. And I don't see that with Bryce Young. When he was playing at Bama, he kind of played like he was 6'5", 240-pound Josh Allen at times, where he is not afraid to, go head first into that contact and just play that more aggressive style of football, which is amazing if he'll be able to, keep his body healthy through all that. But I don't think he will, being that size. And especially if he goes to a system where, or a team where there's, not good protection. Like I'm envisioning him going to the Texans, and I think that would be a colossal failure because they wouldn't be able to protect him and he wouldn't have the weapons to do some of the things that he did at Bama. And I think it's just like, he reminds me a little bit of Tua, both out of Alabama, both a little bit smaller, amazing talents. But now 3 years later, after the Dolphins draft Tua, we're all kind of looking at him like, okay, you got your guy if he can stay healthy, which he hasn't been able to do. And I have a feeling that Bryce Young might go down that same path, trying to play hero ball on a bad franchise and ending up being hurt and not being able to be the effective player that we all see right now,
Yeah.
No, I completely agree.
It's just a risk thing to me. It's like, if I'm a GM, I would rather take a guy like CJ Stroud, where I have to teach him how to read a defense at the NFL level, as opposed to taking a guy like Bryce Young and having to completely do a 180 on his play style. That's just what I see.
Is like with these quarterbacks though, and with who's going to be selecting at the top, Bryce Young can come in and start. That's the difference for me. I think CJ Stroud comes in and you need to bench him for a year. But if you're a top 4 team right now that's drafting, the Texans don't have a quarterback that they can sit him behind. They're going to start him automatically. The Colts, same thing. Don't have a quarterback that they're going to start to have behind. I think they don't have anybody right now that I would want to start. Yeah. And then it just keeps going down the list. The Panthers are the same way. The Raiders are the same way. None of those teams have like a quarterback right now, and the free agency will come up, but right now don't have a quarterback that you can like play for a season, be about at least as a bridge, and then have your quarterback of the future behind. Like, it's just one of those things. I think Anthony Richardson will also need to sit. He needs to sit. Fuck. But if he does get into a situation where he is sitting behind somebody, I think it's funny. I don't think Anthony Richardson is going to be the second overall quarterback off the board. I don't think so. I'm going to be honest, it's going to be CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
But I think Anthony Richardson has more talent. After those 3, it's Will Levis. I feel like there's not really a debate there unless you really are high on Hendon Hooker.
I am high on Hendon Hooker. I think he's my 4, no doubt.
I
draft him and sit him for a year. I don't care.
He's my 5.
When he was healthy, he was the best quarterback in college football.
And when he comes back, when he's fully healthy, and probably he sits a year, right? What is he going to be? Like 26, 27 at that point? Around that age range. And does age really matter at quarterback? Honestly, no. You can be 20. We just recently saw it. Gino's in his 30s now and finally became a good quarterback.
Yeah, I was about to say, most quarterbacks really aren't hitting that stride until 30.
Yeah, so I get it. But I'm, at this point, it's another potential versus what it is actually. I think Hendon Hooker right now is better than Will Levis, but the potential of Will Levis is so much higher. Is he going to be Josh Allen? No. I don't want to hear those comparisons anymore. Will Levis will never be a Josh Allen.
That's the issue. Everybody's obsessed with finding the next Josh Allen.
And funny thing is, I don't think that's what you should be looking for. Realistically, I love Josh Allen, but I don't think he's even in the tier 2 quarterbacks anymore.
Whoa.
I think tier 1 is Patrick Mahomes all by himself. I think we proved it. 100%. I'm not going to keep arguing that. But then you also have Joe Burrow. Jalen Hurts is in the tier 2 right now for me. Josh Allen's in that tier 3. And so if you're looking for that, you're not going to find it in Will Levis. Will Levis will probably be more comparable.
Derek Carr.
Yeah, I can see that. Throwing style, I think he has a better running ability, but it's not his throwing motion. I think is very similar to how Derek Carr would play.
I like that.